Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel. Tap the notification bell. I would appreciate it majorly. There was a shooting incident in northern Jersey at a judge's home where, it's not clear whether the judge was the target of the shooting or not. Her husband was shot and is in shot multiple times, was and is in critical but stable condition. Her name is Esther Salas, and what's her picture there? Shoot, and her son. Her son has been killed as well, and it appears that somebody dressed as like a FedEx, delivery driver approached the home, went to the front door. The father answered the door and immediately opened fire, or entered the home and then opened fire, pretending to make a delivery. I'm not real sure. It's not clear. But the father was, he answered the door first and was shot multiple times. And then the son came running to his aid, as I understand it, and he was shot multiple times. I believe they both were taken to the hospital, and the son later died at the hospital. I'm assuming that because earlier reports were that the two were both in critical condition, but it's now being reported in several outlets the son, the 20-year-old son, is dead and was killed, which is obviously just terrible. And the mother, who is the judge, Esther Salas, was unharmed. She was actually in the basement at the time of the shooting. That's her picture there, but that's, I think, slightly dated. She's in her 60s now, and there's other pictures of her as well in other reports. So it's not clear if she was the target of this, what kind of appears to be some kind of assassination shooting, maybe, or if her husband, who's also a prominent attorney in the area, I think he's a prominent criminal defense attorney at this stage. At one point earlier in his career, he was a prosecutor, an assistant prosecutor for the Essex County, I believe. I'll get to it in one of the reports. So whether or not, this involves a case he's involved in as a defense attorney, possibly. I think initially people, and myself included, would tend to think that she was the target of it, but who knows? And then there's also a strange twist that, if this is actually related to this, I'll be shocked, but it is strange without a doubt. And I just happened to see it just before I was about to upload, prepare to make this video, that she was just assigned a case in her. She's a district judge, which is a federal judge in the District of New Jersey, which surrounds Newark, as I understand it. She was appointed to that post, that judgeship, in 2009, I believe. So or 2010. She's been a federal district judge for 10 years. She was appointed by Obama. But she was just assigned a case that is linked to Jeffrey Epstein, And I'm not intentionally trying to make this video about this, but, it is. And it was just on the 15th. It's only the 19th today. So just 4 days ago, she was assigned a case with, having to do with Jeffrey Epstein's ties to Deutsche Bank and some kind of money laundering, and basically a lawsuit for people who... I'm not even sure, to be honest, with the particulars. I'll read through the articles that, are cited in this Heavy.com piece, to a Bloomberg article as well as another one, just showing you what's there. But I don't know. It's pretty strange that somebody's coming to this person's house dressed as a FedEx driver and immediately opening fire on the first person to answer the door, which is her husband, then shooting the son who comes to his aid, who he ultimately kills, and the gunman's at large. They have that person has not been, nobody's in custody yet, and whoever did this remains on the loose, and obviously I would think is a danger to the immediate community, It's just pretty bizarre, for sure. There's Judge Esther Salas, sort of a more current picture, and there's several other photos and other reports that hopefully I'll get to. And her husband, who is in critical but stable condition, is pictured right there. His name is Mark Andierl. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly. Their son is Daniel Andierl, And it actually says in this that he's 20 years old and is a student at Catholic University in Washington, D.C. And these are two different Twitter accounts. They're his accounts. They are. This is Catholic University. Daniel Andiel, 2022 was when he would graduate. So terrible. And St. Joseph Baseball is in North Jersey, where he went to high school. And this is basically his college Twitter account that he created, I guess, when he went to college. And this is from when he was at St. Joseph's High School in North Jersey as a high school student. So that's the 20-year-old son right there that did not survive and was killed in this incident. It's terrible, absolutely terrible. So, but as it describes it here over at the New Jersey Globe, it says that the husband and son of U.S. District Court Judge Esther Salas were shot this evening after a gunman dressed as a Federal Express delivery driver, entered the North Brunswick home. The New Jersey Globe has learned Daniel Andiel, the judge's 20-year-old son, is dead. He was a student at Catholic University in Washington, D.C. Her husband, Mark Andiel, 63, is a criminal defense attorney and former assistant Essex County prosecutor, is in critical but stable condition after undergoing surgery at Robert Wood Johnson Hospital in New Brunswick. Salas is unharmed, the Globe was told. The suspect remains at large. It is not immediately clear who the target of the shooting was. Salas, a widely respected and popular jurist, had served as a public defender and federal magistrate before Barack Obama nominated her to serve as district court judge in 2010. She's the first Latina to serve as a federal judge in New Jersey, which was surprising to learn that, but she was. The daughter of a Cuban mother and Mexican father, Salas spent part of her childhood on welfare after a fire destroyed her Union City apartment. So as I mentioned before, she was just recently assigned a case that does have a link to Jeffrey Epstein. Just perusing, the articles that are linked here in the Heavy.com article about this angle, I can't imagine that this has something to do with it, but who knows? You just never know. I mean, somebody's showing up at her front door dressed as a FedEx delivery driver and then opening fire on her husband and killing her son. That's definitely pretty unusual, so, who knows? But it says Salas is a former public defender nominated to the federal bench by Barack Obama and was recently given a case with a link to Jeffrey Epstein. That's Salas right there. And it says the judge was recently assigned a case with the Jeffrey Epstein link. According to Bloomberg, Deutsche Bank is being accused of misleading investors about anti-money laundering deficiencies, including not properly monitoring high-risk customers, among them the financier Jeffrey Epstein, who died in a Manhattan jail cell while awaiting sex offense charges. Epstein's ties to high-profile figures like Prince Andrew and the manner in which he died have caused some to question whether his death was murder instead of suicide. Authorities have given no indication that the motive for the Andiel shootings is tied to any of the judge's cases, however. I would think it is probably tied to a case, but I just don't know that it's this one, But who knows, man? Who knows? The case was filed on July 15th, 2020, and has been assigned to Judge Esther Salas, according to the Globe Newswire. Bloomberg Law also reported that the case was assigned to Judge Salas. And those are those two articles right here. Here's the Bloomberg one, and I don't have the subscription to it, so I can't read the entire article. It just says Deutsche Bank investors sue over Epstein ties, stock drops. Deutsche Bank AG allegedly misled investors about anti-money laundering deficiencies and didn't properly monitor customers at considered high risk, such as Jeffrey Epstein, investors said in the New Jersey Federal District Court. The bank didn't tell investors it hadn't fixed disclosure control problems and wasn't keeping an appropriate eye on clients like convicted sex offender Epstein and two other banks involved in past financial misconduct scandals, investors alleged Wednesday in the U.S. District Court of the District of New Jersey. Same thing over here, basically. And it states that the case was assigned, was filed on July 15, 2020, and has been assigned to Justice Esther Salas. And it's basically the same headline, but it names the, LLP basically suing, and it's like class action lawsuit status, so that it's seeking anyone who's been damaged by this, essentially, as I understand it, in any event. But the shooting has killed this judge's son, and her husband is in critical but stable condition. And that's the story there, man. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.